Very good afternoon to all. Respected Registrar Professor Ishtiaq Ahmed sir, respected OSD2 Professor Siddiqui Mohammad Mahmood sir, respected Dean Professor M. Raja, our HOD Professor M. Shaheen Sheikh, distinguished panelists of today's panel discussion, and my dear colleagues, scholars, students and non-teaching staff. I am honored to welcome you all to this distinguished, insightful panel discussion on the topic Unveiling New Horizons in Teacher Education, Prospects and Challenges as a part of our one-day conference and the inauguration of ITEP Teacher Education Program. So before I begin, I request all the distinguished guests to come over the stage and please occupy the distinguished chair. Please, sir. So today we have gathered here some of the brightest minds in the field of education to deliberate on the future of learning and challenges that lie ahead. So we know that education is a cornerstone of progress and development in any society. So as we stand upon the cusp of a new era, it is imperative that we examine the emerging trends, technologies and methodologies that are reshaping the landscape of education. So our distinguished panelists will bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table, and I am eager to hear their experience and perspectives on this crucial topic of today. And I encourage all of you to actively engage in this discussion. So without any further ado, let us delve into this engaging conversation about the future of education. And I would like to request our Dean, Professor Vanaja ma'am, to felicitate our distinguished panelists of today. Dr. P. Shankar, Faculty, School of Education of MANUU University. Please, ma'am, thank you, sir. Now, I would like to present the sapling to Professor Madhusudan JV, Head Department of Education and Education Technology, University of Hyderabad. Professor Shaheen Sheikh ma'am, our HOD Department of Education, to present the sapling to Professor Srinivas Rao sir, Dean Indra Mahindra School of Education, Mahindra University. Thank you ma'am, thank you sir. And now I request our Dean Professor Vanaja ma'am to welcome our one of the panelists of today's session, Professor Ghandara sir, to this panel discussion by presenting a sapling. Thank you ma'am, thank you sir. Now I would like to call upon our Assistant Professor, Dr. Samad TV, to introduce our one of the panelists of today's panel discussion, Professor Madhusudan JV sir. Dr. Samad, Assistant Professor, Department of...
A very good afternoon to all of you. I take this opportunity to introduce Professor Madhusudan JV to all of you. Professor Madhusudan JV currently holds the position of Head of the Department of Education and Education Technology and serves as the Director of Center for Digital Learning, Training and Resources, that is CDLTR, at the prestigious University of Hyderabad. Professor Madhusudan's career includes notable stints at institutions like Northeastern Hill University in Meghalaya and the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj in Hyderabad. His expertise extends to various educational domains with a primary focus on early childhood education and education technology. He boasts an impressive portfolio of publications showcasing his extensive contributions to the field. He currently serves as a member of the Educational Research and Innovations Committee, that's ERIC, at NCERT, and the Academic Advisory Committee of NIOS for the Swayam platform. His experience makes him a sought-after resource person who conducts skill-based sessions on e-learning, blended learning, MOOCs, ICT-enabled pedagogy, and more. He plays a pivotal role in enhancing the pedagogical landscape through his engagement in faculty development programs, faculty improvement programs, refresher courses, and orientation programs at UGC HRDCs throughout the country. Very briefly, let me say, we have a man of education and educational technology with us for this panel discussion. Sir, we are very much pleased to have you with us for this panel discussion this lovely good afternoon. Sir, we are all very happily welcome you to this session. Thank you.
So with most respect, I invite Professor Madhusudan J.V. sir, Head Department of Education and Education Technology, to deliberate on the topic. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sumi. Respected Dean Professor Gunaja, Madam, Dean School of Education at MANUU, Head Department of Education, and all the colleagues from the Department of Education and other guests, research scholars and students, and most respectably our my colleagues on the same panel, Dr. P. Shankar and Professor Srinivasa Garu. It is indeed honor for me to be sharing the panel with Professor like Professor Srinivasa Garu. I learned many things from him. Some of his students are sitting here. I myself also take myself as a student of him also, exactly. And I congratulate MANUU for getting this ITEP and starting straight away going ahead with the integrated teacher education program, which is a flagship program as we all know. And MANUU is one such university, and Department of Education or School of Education at MANUU is again a very prestigious department when it comes to teacher education in the country, entire country. And therefore starting the program like ITEP with MANUU and coming over here to be part of starting festivals of ITEP, I feel myself proud. And it's very well identified by the organizers to talk about the prospects and challenges in teacher education at a time when especially NEP has already said what needs to be done in the field of teacher education, and especially with the 2-year program and other teacher education programs, especially 4-year integrated teacher education program. There could be lot many challenges and prospects. It's not possible to cover all the things. Maybe other colleagues will focus on. I'll take your attention to what NEP 2020 has said on para 15.5 when it comes to 4-year integrated program. I'll not be reading the entire thing, but in addition to the cutting edge pedagogy in the teacher education, NEP wants through this 4-year integrated program to focus on, of course it's a what to say dual major holistic bachelor's program. In addition to all of that, what NEP is wanting through ITEP program is to focus on the grounding in history or sociology or like any other psychology subjects with an addition to or additional attention to early childhood care and education, foundational literacy and numeracy, and knowledge of India and values at home and these kind of things. So if we keep this in our mind when we talk about we all know what are the major challenges and issues in implementing any new program or existing teacher education program. We already have our own set of issues and challenges. And NEP 2020 is the, if I'm not wrong, is the only policy in the entire country where it talks about what is happening inside the teacher education programs in the country. and it has taken our attention. It's our family, it's our home that we need to clean the teacher education programs in the entire country. So starting from Verma Commission's reports to the NEP 2020, there is a serious need to look into the happenings inside our home in terms of what actually we need to do and what society talks about teacher education. So very likely from now onwards we should not be allowing anybody to talk low about our own teacher education programs. We all have that concerns. And when deliberations like this, if attention is taken to such programs of this sort, see, mainly why we should be again and again repeatedly talking about prospects and challenges, especially in teacher education program. And NEP has already talked about quality education. I will not be talking much about the quality education. Quality education depends on the quality of the teacher education. That I just wanted to take your attention to that point. Then society also wants students' outcome. And students' outcome need to come, the practicing teachers in the classroom, but those teachers are provided by the teacher education. So therefore, even if you talk about the student outcomes at one level, education is not just about the teacher education outcomes. But still, even if you talk about the student outcome, that happens through the classroom practices, but those teachers are provided by the teacher education. Therefore, these are connected things. Then for societal development as well, you need a quality education, and it's a time to have innovation and adaptability. For that also, what are the prospects that we are in front of us as a positivities that helps us, and global competitiveness. Our children, our students, they are competing for global citizens, and we need to understand that we are not just teaching the children of our own locality, our own area, our own schools. They are the future citizens. Therefore, the skills that they are getting imparted has to be at the standards at a global level. And of course, it's about very seriously about social equity as well. One needs to understand the issue of social equity and the connection with education, and especially the teacher education. That we need to understand these are the basic issues, like for example, even if it is cultivating critical thinking among the students. Ultimately, the quality of the teacher education will show impact not quickly but later in the long run. So the long-term impact and benefits of teacher education have to start from right now. So one cannot think after 10 years what is going to happen. Right now what is going to happen, the practice of teacher education that sets a tone from tomorrow onwards. So therefore, in that sense, teacher education programs become very important. And some of the prospects that we are talking about, maybe especially in the context of innovative pedagogical approaches. For example, if you talk about experiential learning, multidisciplinary education, that's going to be, maybe our other panelists may focus on that. Our professional development opportunities for the teachers through this program. These are some of the prospects that we are talking about. But especially me, I will be focusing on technology integration. Particularly how technology integration can come in leveraging, how to leverage technology effectively, because when we talk about prospects, there is challenges as well. So I take this leveraging the technology effectively, this is a challenge still. The reason why I call it as a challenge, we know there is already a society, you may say it's a old concept, but still it's a relevant concept, the digital divide that we are talking about. Even now, the concept, the idea and its effect on the society, we need to understand this is a challenge one has to take. And ensuring access to e-learning resources to all, that's the major challenge. We easily see around the resources in the form of lot money, but still, do all have access to e-learning? That's the important thing. And digital literacy among the teachers. Another issue that we talk about is digital literacy is one thing, but digital literacy among the teachers who are going to impart is also another challenge that we should be talking about. So therefore, when we talk about technology integration in teacher education, it's all about enhanced learning experiences, what exactly it brings in. What exactly it brings in is it's about, in addition to the traditional teaching, in addition to the traditional inputs, what technology brings in is it brings in the enhanced learning experiences. And what happens is, I will not get into the details how exactly it happens, but I will take your attention to the potential possibilities of enhancing these aspects through integration of technology in terms of, like, for example, interactive learning. You can have more and more interactive learning with the help of technology. And also, lot many multimedia resources are there. Teacher, students have access relatively better compared to few days. Now, the tremendous, even we have open education resources. So therefore, technology brings with this, in a low cost, high scalable, enhanced learning experiences at classroom level can straight away start. And the advantage of technology is that it can help us create the global learning communities. Maybe previously the learning communities at school level, at unit level, at individual level, we were talking about. But now the same on certain aspect, we can extend our learning through similar patterns, through similar backgrounds. We can create learning communities, and it could be easily done with the help of online collaborations. Very low cost online conference calls are there, and we can easily have these online collaborations. And even we can think of cultural exchanges. Even we can think of cultural exchange programs through online. This can happen. Cultural exchange in the context of teacher education I am talking about. Namaste. Sir, so when we talk about technology integration and when we are talking about the advantages of this, we can even think at classroom level or at individual level. It's all about personalized learning paths. The personalized learning paths that technology, because we have lot many adaptive learning platforms. You have learning management systems. These all put together can add to the personalized learning, because we all talk about individual differences. So therefore, and even it will help individuals to go about a differentiated instruction. Teachers, if we can wisely start using, they can have not just a general instruction, a differentiated instruction within a classroom, taking into account all the individual differences and the pace of the individual students. And at the same time, the advantage that it brings is, it's about professional development. Ultimately, teachers or anybody, for example, it's a lifelong learning we need to engage ourselves. It's about professional development of the teachers, and the technology enables in such a manner that there could be online workshops, and we all have witnessed. I don't have to tell about those things. We all have in the recent time, we have seen lot many advantages of online workshops, though you may talk about limitations. Any system will have its own limitations as well. But in spite of all the odds, I tell you, online workshops and courses can be taken as a very professional development, and even teachers can have their own communities in terms of subjects. If science teachers can come together, social science pedagogical subject teachers can come together, and that way teachers can create on their own. For example, let me tell you, during the pandemic, teacher education, we had a Facebook group and WhatsApp group. We conducted lot many classes online, and thousands of students got benefited. We don't know who is joining, who no, but we went live Facebook classes, right? So this is all about how we take the advantage of these technologies. And even in terms of preparation of the classroom, we need to understand the digital literacy, how it will be powerful. Now I will take your attention to how technology integration, technology enabled learning, and power of technology in teacher education, especially integrated teacher education program. I take your attention to the curriculum framework that is in front of us. And we know, in terms of foundation courses or disciplinary, interdisciplinary courses, or the stage specific content pedagogy courses, or even ability enhancement value added courses, including school experience and community engagement services. In two places, especially the first one, foundations of education. In foundations of education, we have a specialized paper on emerging technologies education. It's about technology, education technology, but the name that gets is emerging technologies in education. And this paper is at all 4 stages. By stage wise, these in foundations, we have emerging technologies in education. On the other hand, in ability enhancement and value added courses, we have ICT in education. These two courses, it's now how the teachers, how the college, how the institution, how this university is implementing entire program and also taking advantage of technology in teacher education program, and it largely depends upon how teachers, and I was part of this ITEP's curriculum committee, and I was associated with particularly these 2 courses, and I know from the very close this thing what kind of the committee chairman was Professor Indu from Azim Premji University, Vice Chancellor Azim Indu. She and we had a few more members, and we worked on this particular thing, and never we thought any negative kind of thing. Rather we felt very positive when we are talking about the changes that have taken place, and we have taken into account the existing syllabi of best of the universities in the country when they are teaching education technology at undergraduate level, that is at B.Ed level, and ICT when we talk about ICT programs. Now the real challenge is how exactly this is imparted to very young students, because these students are coming at 10 plus 2 level. We have been teaching, we are good in teaching to graduation, after graduation, that is B.Ed program students. Even we have education technology course in M.Ed level, but to deal with the very young children who are much advanced in terms of technology. So therefore, the kind of inputs that has gone into the curriculum framework and the kind of transaction that is expected from the teachers, and for that the preparation from the institutions and schools, and with a very positive mind, because when we, based on my own personal observations, whenever I talk to teachers, especially in professional development programs, one common observation that comes is many myths about when we talk about technology integration. The myths are range, it's a very range, like for example, do I have to be online by 24/7 or what if I start using technology? Or the range is so vast that some teachers, they ask me, technology's use is such that maybe technology may replace the teachers in future. See, all these questions may be relevant at one stage, but at a teacher level, I thought, see, I tell you, physics wala, for example, online, biggest, but they are going more and more for offline classes. They are opening in neighborhood the franchises, because the beauty in offline is it will never be. Why do we want to have a workshop straight face to face like this? Isn't it? So it's about how even Amazon is not an online business, rather it's a logistic business. It is taking the advantage of online only, but the service that provides is physical. So therefore, never we need to understand or undermine the power of the classrooms. Power of classroom, the power of teacher will continue, but the technology may help in reaching to many in terms of before if we are not reaching. So with this positive attitude, if we go ahead and a lot of teacher training workshops are required, seminars and capacity building of the teachers is much required in understanding I am not getting into the details of what are the latest technologies and all, but still with a positive set of mind, if we go ahead, technology is going to change the way our teacher education programs are conceived before and now. So this is one important factor, most important factor I thought, in addition to and with high respect to the pedagogical basic things to the teacher education, to enhance all that, the very purpose of teacher education, preparation of teacher, technologies I personally believe is going to add much to our efforts. So with this I thought I'll stop here, and maybe we will wait for any question and answer. And with this I thank once again Department of Education, School of Education, MANUU, for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, and we are very much thankful to you, sir, and it was really insightful to know about technology integration in teacher education, especially in ITEP curriculum, and we look forward to hearing in future also, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Bhagyama ma'am, to introduce our panelist of today's session, Dr. P. Shankar. Please, ma'am. Dr. Bhagyama, Assistant Professor, Department of Education.
Good afternoon, all of you. It's my delight and honor to introduce to this august body a well-known familiar personality, a well-known face in Hyderabad and Delhi. In my association with Sir, I was worked with Sir 9 years. And Sir is who is always empathetic for another human being who are faced with challenges in personal and professional career. Dr. P. Shankar Sir is currently working as Assistant Professor, Department of Education, University College of Education, Usmania University, Hyderabad since January 2014. He is giving total 25 years of teaching and research experience. He taught 7 years in high schools and 13 years as a teacher educator at DITE Warangal. He was nominated by Government of India as member NCTA, SRC and New Delhi. And he is also member ICSSR, SRC New Delhi. He is holding the position of Chairperson Board of Studies in Education for Telangana University, Nizamabad and Shatwahana University, Karimnagar. And also member Board of Studies of Central University of Kashmir, Central University of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Sir guided PhD students, four PhDs awarded and 1 MPhil awarded, still working under 4 students. He has started his career as school assistant, physical science and served science teacher at school level. He also served as District Science Officer and Academic Monitoring Officer in DPEP and SSA Warangal. He also served as Additional Project Coordinator, Sarva Siksha Abhiyan Warangal. He organized several training programs, workshops, seminars and conferences for the teachers and teacher educators. He developed 20 teacher training modules to give trainings to the teachers of SSA. He was trained in ISRO, Ahmedabad, in developing video material and organizing teleconferences. He was invited as expert for several teleconferences in the state and at national level DEP, IGNO, SSA. He also organized national level training programs in collaboration with DEP, IGNO, SSA. He is basically a teacher trainer giving trainings to teachers and teacher educators. He is the draft committee member for Andhra Pradesh State Curriculum Framework, APSCF 2011. He also contributed for 14 position papers for curriculum development. He is the coordinator and author for the physical science textbooks for class 6 to 10. He is the member in curriculum reforms at B.Ed and D.Ed level. He was SRG State Resource Group member for SCRT, SITE, RMSA and SSA. He also contributes content for NCRT New Delhi in developing teacher training manuals. He has undertaken 10 research projects till date and submitted research reports to the state government. He attended and presented research papers in various national and international conferences. He published research articles in referred journals. He also contributed for chapters in the books. He is the author and editor for various books covering science subject at school education and subjects at B.Ed and D.Ed level. He writes editorial articles in daily newspapers. He is a frequent presenter in TV shows on education. Awards facilitated with a citation by the Government of Andhra Pradesh on 4/3/2013 for the services as the coordinator and author of the class 6th to 9th textbooks development. He got 4 times district awards from the district collectors for popularization of science as district science officer and for best academic initiatives in the district as AMO in the years January 1999, August 2005, January 2007 and August 2007. I closed with this brief introduction on behalf of Maulana Azad National Urdu University with best wishes and prayers. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With all respect, I invite Dr. P. Shankar for his remarks on this particular topic. Sir.
Thank you very much, my colleague Bhagyamma, for introduction more than me. We are very thankful to the university for calling me here, and I am fortunate to be here with the legendary academicians, Professor Saluja sir. I am fortunate to see you, sir, here. Those who are involved in the policy and going to practice this policy, everybody is here. This is the first university to hold, I think, among the 51 ITEP programs throughout in the SRC. It is the first university to hold such a program, to launch in its true intent and spirit, and by calling all the people involved in this formulation of 4-year integrated education program. Though I am not directly involved in the policy making like Saluja sir and Madhusudan sir, Vanaja madam, but we have lot of debates and discussions, made an attempt to impress this policy as a teacher educator and the member of NCTE SRC. Fortunately or unfortunately, we are trying to draw several things from our experiences. These experiences will cause damage many of the time. We have failed to imagine new things, create new things based on the policy, but depending on the experience, especially the previous experiences, we are trying to see the new policy through the old lenses. That is my comment, first comment on this program. The entire nation is looking for a new generation deeply rooted through the Indian values and ethos, who can transform this rich culture to make this entire world Vasudhaiva Kutumbam with peace and harmony. A new generation, citizens, this nation is expecting through this policy. In all these days, we try to prepare the teachers and we dismantle the position of Guru because of this colonial mind setup. The ancient notion of Guru is not equally replaces the modern teacher. Modern teacher works for the employment and he invites the students for employment. And the perspective of education is for living the life in the future but not to live the life in the present. We thought that this 4-year integrated program definitely will address all the problems of this Indian education system and prepare a legendary guru who can give a direction to the entire nation through this leadership. And taking to the start, what is the position of the education now in India? And all the world report says that India is one among the countries of 53 which are facing serious learning crisis. Even the draft curriculum framework, there is one chapter on learning crisis, accepted and taken the challenge and given a lot of inputs to overcome this learning crisis. We are talking about that education will empower the nation and we are going to create the knowledge economy and we are going to become the Vishwa Guru by creating a vibrant knowledge society through our education. But unfortunately, the education itself is creating inequalities among the masses in terms of learning poverty. Education has become a weapon to create inequalities in this country. The marginalized rural sections are deprived of proper learning outcomes even after RT 2009 guarantees, constitutional guarantee is there to get class appropriate, age appropriate competencies, but we have failed to get those things and we are facing learning crisis. Why this learning crisis is taking place? Who are responsible for this? Policy makers, teachers, yes, all are responsible for this. In the system, governance and the delivery mechanism both are failure to attain appropriate learning outcomes not only in the primary section and also in the higher education also. So creating this type of disparities, how come the new teacher education programs which are designed in 4 sections, how it is going to address this? It is a great challenge for all of us. Even in the NEP 2020, it was well written and it is the only area which was criticized very badly by quoting Verma Committee report. In the new education policy, it is the teacher education department. We are worried about the Verma Committee and its comments, but same was reiterated by the NEP 2020 also. Now everybody is looking at teacher education and how to clean this one and prepare a new generation teachers who can give you direction through their teaching. We will learn many things. We will say very good things about teachers, but no teacher is voting without money even in MLC elections. Now demography has become corrupt, policy makers has become corrupt, everything is corruption. Friedrich Nietzsche says, when everything is going wrong and corrupt, look into the education. Look into the education. The corruptive roots are in the education. Yes, we are seeing the corruptive elements in the commercialization of teacher education. Why teacher education made so commercialized component in this country? And there is a lot of pressure on the government to fill the vacancies of the teachers? If at all, the B.Ed program is only meant for the teacher in the government sectors? No, but the perspective is like that. This ITEP program is going to break all such things in future. The same NEP 2020 talks about how the teacher education department is isolated from all other departments. They are isolated, and many of the others take an hour cup of tea and they are claiming that they are a great teacher educator. They are talking about Bloom's taxonomy, revised Bloom's taxonomy, learning outcome based curriculum framework. But teacher educators long back forgotten Bloom and his behavioristic models, and we evolved new learning outcomes based on the Indian ethos and values, which is based on the dialogue method, questioning, not follow fairy. It is based on the Prashnopanishad. Pedagogy is there, but Western model talks about only follow fairy. Follow fairy questions only dominance and he questions authority, but the Indian ethos questions the wisdom and looking there into their inner self. The question is the method of epistemology that was disappeared from our pedagogy. So this ITEP program, where now lot of exercise has been done, and there are 7 domains very critically categorized and bringing to our teacher education domains and integrating with the content oriented disciplines. Now it is a challenge for all of us. Even RIE models, there are so much of limitations in them. RIE recruits content teaching teachers without B.Ed. How come they will teach content in a training college? But this is going on. Now the National Education Policy says that there must be a 8 credited pedagogy course for those who are coming to teach even in the higher education level. So the pedagogy is taken care. Now the content teachers, teacher educators put together, they have to drive the ITEP program to achieve the learning outcomes and put a full stop for the market demands. What certificate you have given, it should give you more competencies than the what is there in the certificates. But now you might be seeing that nobody is asking about from where you are graduated and from where you are got your certificate. But they will test your skills and abilities and they will give you the work order. In the computer software, nobody will ask you from where are you. Maybe you are from IIT Bombay, but if you have failed to write a code, they don't give an employment. Even they don't ask your certificate, if you write the code, they will appoint. So there is a delinking between the certificates and the competencies. Now, being a teacher educator, all of us again reboot your self-esteem and stand very strongly to give a direction to this nation. With this, I will conclude. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are happy to listen your viewpoints on the topic unveiling new horizons in teacher education and mostly about learning crisis and about the concepts surrounding the visual guru and all. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Firdaus Tabassum to introduce our next panelist, Professor Srinivasa Rao, sir, Dean Indira Gandhi Mahindra School of Education, Mahindra University.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, respected delegates sitting on the dais and off the dais. Professor Srinivas Rao is a professor of sociology and education and Dean Indira Mahindra School of Education, Mahindra University, Hyderabad. He has served as the president of Comparative Education Society of India. He is currently on leave from Jawaharlal Nehru University, where he is a professor and former chairperson of Zakir Hussain Center for Educational Studies. His teaching and research interests mainly center around issues of social diversity, equity and social justice, education policy, language and multiculturalism, education policy, higher education and urban education. He has co-edited Sociology of Education in India, Changing Contours and Emerging Concern, Oxford University Press, New Delhi in 2013. Recently he has published a monograph on school closures and merged, which is based on a 3-stage study of the impact of recent policy initiatives on the delivery of right to education. Sir has also associated with Contemporary Education Dialogue, a state journal of educational studies, as its managing editor during 2015 to 19. And at present he is on the editorial advisory board of the journal. Professor Srinivas Rao sir has been a recipient of various fellowships, Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute's Faculty Research Fellowship in 2005 and Faculty Engagement Award in 2011. Also Asian Fellow Award of the Asian Scholarship Foundation in 2007. He had been a visiting scholar at various pyramid centers of educational studies abroad and also in India, which includes University of Toronto, McGill University, University of Kebangsaan, Malaysia, Malaysian National University, Institute of Education, University of London and University of Hyderabad. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Srinivas Rao sir to present his viewpoints on the present topic.
Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I must thank Professor Manaja for taking the risk of inviting me to this this panel discussion. Primarily because I am an odd person in such a galaxy of educational educators and education professionals. I come from a slightly different background. I research, teach, who work on various aspects of education. I am also new to the teacher education programs. Somehow I have had no exposure except for visiting many centers of teacher education, giving lectures, meeting people in different fora. But my engagement actually with the teacher education programs have not been as elaborate as many of my colleagues on the panel. So therefore I must at the very outset excuse myself actually if this goes against actually the kind of the understanding of a teacher educator. Having said that, when we look at the integrated teacher education program, we see, as the title of the panel discussion itself says, an opportunity. An opportunity which we have been waiting for several decades, and it has the possibility of becoming one of the best exercises in revamping our teacher education systems. Whether it is NEP 2020 or the Gazette, the ITEP Gazette, which was issued in 2021, clearly understood the need for revamping the entire teacher education programs. They recognized that there is a crisis. We are in a deep malaise. I think my predecessors, Professor Madhusudan and Professor Shankar, have clearly mentioned about the kind of crisis and the malaise that the teacher education program has been going through in the entire country. And he also made actually references to Justice Verma Committee, and Justice Verma Commission has shown to us what is wrong with the teacher education. It also has given us an opportunity to reflect about who the teacher is, what the teacher should be, how we need to engage with the preparation of the teacher to face, confront several generations of children who are going to shape this country, shape the future of this country. And I think Kothari Commission also clearly said the future of the nation is being built in the classrooms. Are we really making the teacher educator a person who understands the classroom well? How many of us actually sitting here understand that a teacher has a unique role which no other profession has? Maybe I think the teacher in general, say for example, teacher of physics may have a particular precise role of instruction in a particular discipline. But the teacher educator, the one actually who is going to reach out to the children, need to have different sets of understanding about the children he or she is going to confront. All of us actually have started at some point in our lives to be the teachers. We have been actually under the teachers, with the teachers. Many of our teachers have shaped the way we looked at the classrooms. And when nobody actually told us what the teaching is about, we remind one of those teachers who have shaped our horizons, our thinking, our approach to look at teaching as a vocation. How many times have we really looked into ourselves and asked this question, why am I in teaching? Am I performing the role that is expected of a teacher? If that is the question, then what is the expectation from the teacher? What is it that the teacher is expected to do? Is the teacher merely an instructor? Or is the teacher merely a disciplinarian? Anywhere, I think, you go to the classroom, you have large classrooms. Without teacher being a disciplinarian, you cannot control the class, and the class goes haywire. And therefore, actually, teacher also teaches the children to be disciplined, which is also expected to be a practice and norm in the society as well. You cannot behave whatever way you want to behave in the society, outside of the classroom as well. So what is being taught and what is being not part of the instruction also becomes part of learning to the child, so that the child becomes a successful member of the society or the citizen, the nation. Being disciplined helps us, definitely. And at the same time, teacher also is somebody who allows certain kind of thinking to grow. Autonomy in thinking. What I think NEP has rightly put, the critical thinking. If just as actually we keep asking questions, why am I in teaching? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I merely a communicator of ideas that are there in the textbooks? Or what we call actually the content of education. If that is the case, the textbooks are already there. Why are we there in front of the children? Are we also going to shape the way the children think, the way the children are being shaped for the future generations of the society and nation? Or are we going to strictly restrict ourselves to whatever lessons that the textbook prescribes? If the textbook is to be the main task of a teacher or to be an instructor, then how is the teacher communicating other ideas which the society places on the teacher? Society expects actually the teacher to communicate several things. It's not merely I am only not being paid for kind of transacting the curriculum, transacting the text. I am also being paid to shape the future generations of children who need to fit into the society in which they are living. So therefore, one is actually that there is a whole lot of expectations, and the ITEP program in particular, I think particularly the Gazette, does make these right noises. It says the teacher has to be equipped not merely with the professional learning, but it also has to provide a larger theoretical learnings and also the possibilities for learning from experiences. Experience is the biggest teacher for all of us. Nobody need to tell us actually, see, I don't have to go for ITEP to become a good teacher. I should know what is the task of a teacher is. Maybe I think once I know, once I internalize what my role is going to be, no matter actually how brilliantly we make our ITEP program, if I do not as a student do not get this idea that I need to do something beyond what is prescribed in the text, then I think the entire teacher education program will not achieve the lofty ideals that are set in front of us. So I, therefore, what expect actually all of us actually, because we are embarking on a new horizon, a new starting, which allows actually an elaborate process of reaching out to this teacher educator and provide him or her with the sensitivity that the teacher is expected to have when the teacher gets into the classroom. So when the teacher gets into the classroom, does the teacher do justice if the teacher does not understand what is the classroom like? So we have teachers actually who are good with the children. We also have teachers who do not even look at the children. I think Professor Madhusudan actually is talking about the technology. If we do not know the child whom we are teaching, would that learning process be successful? Are we realizing the goals that we have set before us in the ITEP program or in NEP 2020? So understanding the class, and see, there's an important kind of understanding we need to bring to this. Many times as a teacher, we subsume the knowledge that the child already possesses. Children come with several experiences. They also have certain kind of understanding, certain kind of learnings before they enter the classrooms. Can we completely remain restricted to only the text, or do we not actually consider their experiences in the process of communicating, whether you are teaching mathematics or physics or civics or political science or history? How do we really factor in? How do we take into experience the diversity of experiences the children are bringing to our classrooms? How is it possible to make the classrooms inclusive if the teacher herself or himself do not have any idea of the diversity of the children? So therefore, I think the question is not about bringing out with a new kind of a degree program, but it is about how do we shape it, and that is where I think, universities do have certain kind of flexibilities. ITEP Gazette actually does provide 30% of flexibilities. So whichever actually locality, whichever kind of area, whichever kind of catchment or the composition of the students you have, you can shape actually so that you can shape the curriculum, shape the transactions in such a way that the children look at the transactions in the classroom teacher education programs more relevant for them. Now we need to develop the relevant educational experiences rather than experiences which are completely detached from their realities. Reality needs to be kind of built into the academic program. So therefore, I think I'm sure NCTE, Professor Shankar is here, and NCTE allows that flexibility to the universities in building such, culturally, socially relevant kind of curricula to be built into the transaction of the teacher education program. With these few words, I'll stop my my presentation. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for placing your concern about the valuable suggestions and concern in teacher education before us. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Dr. Gerard to introduce our next panelist, Professor Ghandara Ramesh sir, Honorary Professor, Director of Distance Education, MANUU.
हाज़रीन मजलिस अस्सलाम वालेकुम। प्रोफेसर घंटा रमेश साहब की सीवी मैं देख रहा था तो समेटना उसको ऐसे ही है जैसे दरिया को कूजे में समोना, जो कि मेरे बस की बात नहीं है। फिर भी कुछ चीज़ें बातें मैंने नोट की हैं जो आपके गोश गुजार कर देना मुनासिब समझता हूँ। प्रोफेसर घंटा रमेश कसीर जिहाती आलमी शोहरत याफ्ता शख्सियत के हामिल हैं। उस्मानिया यूनिवर्सिटी से आपने PhD मुकम्मल की। सर ने अपना करियर BHU से शुरू किया और मानू में इसे मुकम्मल किया और अभी भी हमारे मानू में विजिटिंग प्रोफेसर की हैसियत से अपनी खिदमत अंजाम दे रहे हैं। बेहतरीन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होने के अलावा एक बेहतरीन उस्ताद भी हैं। फ़लसफ़ा, माहौलियात, तालीमी असातिज़ा, करिकुलम डेवलपमेंट आपके दिलचस्पी के मैदानात हैं। फुल ब्राइट और UGC ने एमरिट्स फेलो से आपको नवाजा। बेस्ट टीचर अवार्ड 1997 आंध्रा प्रदेश ने आपको दिया। इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ टीचर एजुकेशन के आप सदर भी रहे। शुक्रिया। हम जब से सर को देख रहे हैं या जब से सर मानू में तशरीफ लाए हैं, हर साल सर एक मरतबा बाहर का यानी फारिग का दौरा ज़रूर करते हैं, तो इससे भी सर की शख्सियत का अंदाज़ा आप लगा सकते हैं। कई किताबों के मुसन्निफ, मुख्तलिफ दाखिला जाती इम्तिहानात के सरपरस्त और SRC के चेयरपर्सन, माहिर तालीम, पॉलिसी मेकर, टीचर एजुकेशन में जो भी इस्लाहात होती हैं, इन सब में कहीं ना कहीं सर का रोल ज़रूर होता है, बल्कि यूँ कहें कि सर के मशवरे के बगैर वो मुकम्मल नहीं होती हैं। सर उस चिराग के मानिंद हैं जो मकाम हदूद की क़ुयूद से बालातर होकर सबको रोशनी पहुँचाता है और तारीकी को ख़त्म करता है, जहालत को दूर करता है। बल्कि यूँ कह ले कि जहाँ रहेगा वहीं रोशनी लुटाएगा, जहाँ रहेगा वहीं रोशनी लुटाएगा, किसी चिराग का अपना मकान नहीं होता। बेहद शुक्रिया।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जरार सर जी। So with most respect, I invite Professor Ghandara Ramesh sir to deliberate on the topic. Sir.
The galaxy of the teacher educators on the dais, Professor Madhusudan, Professor Srinivasarao garu, my dear friend and a colleague for a long time, Dr. Shankar, Shaheen Madam, Manaja Madam, and my colleagues, and more particularly it's an occasion to see Professor Saluja sir. I heard a lot about him. My learned colleagues from MANUU School of Education and young students who opted for ITEP offered by MANUU and invitees. First, I tender my apology. I am late to this panel discussion. I am away around 300 kilometers. I started 200 kilometers. Started around 12:15 and I reached with great difficulty, but still I missed a part of presentation made by Madhusudan. I don't know where to start and how to take you to the crux of the problem of teacher education and to conclude with my own observations. जो नए तालिबा है वो लोगों के लिए मैं कहना चाहता हूँ 1980 से अभी मेरा 40 और उसके थोड़ा ज़्यादा भी हुआ टीचर एजुकेशन से हमारा ताल्लुका है. Luckily, I am in the delegation of teacher educators in those days as an young lecturer from Banaras to meet the late Honorable Prime Minister. At that time, he was Minister of HRD Sri P.V. Narasimha for the establishment of an apex body to ensure coordinated development of quality teacher education, that is the National Council for Teacher Education. And great difficulty in 90s से 93 they made an act and 1995 it came into action. That is all about NCT, because whenever we talk of teacher education, no one can make any observation without reference to NCT. तो मुझे मेरे को कभी कभी नई पॉलिसीज आते रहता, नई इंटरवेंशंस आते रहता. वो समय में हम समझते हैं कि ये इंटरवेंशन से पूरा सिस्टम साफ सफाई हो जाएगी. मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है, देयर आर नंबर ऑफ इंटरवेंशंस, new policies, new committee reports. Everybody talk about teacher education. No person asked to speak about education can afford to skip the status of teacher education or teacher preparation. That shows how important the aspect of teacher education in our education system. None other than the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, coined a very beautiful term in Hindi, Acha Shiksha, Acche Shikshak, which speaks volumes. But unfortunately, there is an unbridgeable gap that still exists between theory and practice in Indian education. Agar if you see into the Kothari Commission report or NEP 86 or 92 Program of Action and the recent one NEP 2020, if you go through the document, if you have the imagination of the system of education on the canvas of the society, what more we want? There is nothing one can find such a comprehensive committee reports. But with reference to that, when we look at what is the present status? To what extent we could succeed in translating these committee reports or policy documents into practice is a major question. In that context, even teacher education is not out of reference. Rather, this gap is more when compared to other systems in the society, or more particularly within education, the other sectors. Because of this, a person like me, having spent more than 30-40 years, sometimes I become a skeptic. For example, this ITEP program, it's not new to us, for that matter. This country is following this 4-year integrated program, which was conceptualized in Kothari Commission, and that time they started exclusive campuses to impart this 4-year integrated teacher education program with a huge investments. Again, the same is revisited, and the present government wants to expand this 4-year integrated program, and the exercise has been began much before the policy of 2020. Somewhere in 2017 onwards, committees and experts are working on it. The same is further emphasized by the NEP 2020, and since then we could reach this level. There are certain, I am confining only to ITEP 2020, Saluja Sahab, yahi hai. Now we want to take this program not only just as a on pilot basis, because we can't wait for 4 years to take the outcome of this pilot project. Country can't afford, because the NEP has fixed the timeline by 2030. All teacher education programs are to be converted into 4-year integrated. Now is the time to deliberate more upon it and ensure that the program which we want to implement now onwards should be all comprehensive, by way of taking one thing the past experiences, and another thing what we are contemplating, the new issues may emerge out of this particular program. We can't wait for 4 years. So in that context, because this issue has been discussed, unfortunately the NCT is expected to disseminate the program of ITEP so widely among the, at least if not academic circles, the teacher education fraternity, but because of various constraints, not much discussion has taken place. Very recently we had some discussion about it. Now the students are coming, unfortunately in this country there is no vocational guidance like in Western societies. We can't understand in which particular area the child is interested. Now my young kids, they join the ITEP program. How many of them are really committed to becoming a teacher? We don't have any mechanism. I don't know even the NTA, the test that they conducted, because I too conducted state level test for so many years, even to get certain items which will enable us to know whether really the student is interested to become a teacher, not many things are available. So how many of these students are really interested to become a teacher? Next question comes, what kind of teacher? First of all, we have to ensure we can't afford to take their time, on the other hand spend money on their orientation to be a teacher. If finally if they fail to become a teacher, if they are not interested and if they migrate from this profession to other profession, what is the use? Because in the Western societies, even children who are going to Western systems of education, when I ask, because they are very affluent people, not a person like me can afford to send my child to an undergrad program in the US. When I ask them, they are very affluent, what your son is doing? Uncle, my son is doing photography. अरे भाई फोटोग्राफी के लिए उतना दूर जाके इतना लाखों रुपए खर्च करना क्या? यहाँ नहीं सीख सकते क्या? But what is their argument is because he has some inclination and interest in photography, there the facilities are better, we don't mind to spend because they are not just going for medical or engineering to make more money coming back to India. Even rich people, they are sending their children photography के लिए और कई such programs. एक ने multi-millionaire का बेटा मेरे को मालूम है, उन्हें गया, he has gone to do a course in Germany spending lakhs of rupees for organizing one this what you call some program within the major program of event management. Event management के अंदर उनका क्या है बोले तो तबला बजाना ये वगैरह, उसके लिए उन्हें स्पेशलाइज करके आया. Because the father says that he is interested in that. Now the question is, first it should begin with really the students who are coming to this ITEP program are inclined and committed to become a teacher or not. That is to be tested first. It's not just simple examination. Because we have a better experience, we have come with a number of interventions, most of these things. At the time of introduction of these interventions, we thought that this will be the solution for the problems of the ill-equipped or irrelevant teacher preparation. But we could not succeed because a lot of discussion has taken place when we plan to extend the duration of B.Ed from 1 year to 2 years. At the end of the program now, we ourselves cross our fingers, it's a mere waste of time and resources. Because till now, neither the apex body nor the universities could prepare a clear-cut day-to-day program what the B.Ed students are expected to do in 2 years. We are not able to keep the student engaged. The reason being we do not have a portrait of a teacher whom do we want to prepare. First of all, we should have that. We do not have. My friend Shankar, yes, it is the culture, values, tradition. They should become the basis for any teacher unless, even if you make them to a techno-savvy, unless they understand what they are, for whom they are, what we expect, unless we inculcate a kind of our culture, values to our children, any technology that we teach is out of context. So these two things should go together. No system can be really do something in teacher education unless it comes out of our own ethos. But we are sometimes feel inconvenient to talk about our own philosophies. I know There are a section of people in this country claim to be the great teacher educator. They don't want even to have the nomenclature that is philosophical and sociological foundations of education. वो समझता है कि फिलॉसफी कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। भाई हम क्या करें, उनको उतना अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वो लिखेगा इसी लिखेगा, हम क्या करने का। I know if we can understand the thinkers of 19th and 20th century and what more education one can get from outside, whether it is Arvindo, Gandhi, Tagore, G.D. Krishnamurti, अगर हम टीचर एजुकेटर होकर अगर उसको ठीक तरीका समझ लिया, नो डॉक्यूमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड, वो उतना बस है हम टीचर बन के स्कूल में पढ़ाने के लिए। We are not interested because in philosophy, what we teach, not that I am a student of philosophy. That will take you to the roots of your value system and culture. That is philosophy. But unfortunately, a section always will try to dominate the policy making in the country. They are, मैं अमेरिका जाके आया, मैं इथियोपिया जाके आया, मैं वो देश जाके आया। अगर हम बैठ के थ्योरी बनाएंगे, क्या बनाएंगे, किसके लिए बनाएंगे? अमेरिका के लिए बनाएंगे या इथियोपियंस के लिए बनाएंगे? That is the major problem. But सलूजा साहब, मेरा दरखास्त ये है आपको, at least now it is the time before its implementation as in the 50 institutions across the country. It is not the vice chancellors of these 50 institutions or 50 deans can take the proposed ITEP to each and every corner of the country and different institutions, because I don't think next year if another 50 are added, this kind of exercise won't take place. As if it is approved, implemented, and NCT will give recognition with the technical license, they go ahead with the program without understanding the baseline philosophy, without understanding the spirit of the program, without understanding the expectations of the program. If such a program is implemented in such a manner, naturally what we intend to get out of it may not be possible. That should not happen with this program. मैं अभी तक मेरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये है कि कौन जा रहे, कौन आ रहे, क्या हो रहे, किसी को मालूम नहीं है। अगर वो 40 लोगों को भी मैंने पूछा वाइस चांसलर से डीन क्या वही बोले तो आपको हम करना चाहते हैं, क्या करना चाहते हैं आप कर लो। आउट ऑफ माय इंटरेस्ट मैंने ये उसका पूरा डाउनलोड किया, इतना मोटा बन गई, मेरा कार पे पड़ी है। It is about this curriculum frame or the detailed syllabus given by the expert committee runs into 700 pages something. मेरा एक वॉल्यूम नहीं बना सके, 2 वॉल्यूम बनाए उन्हें। You see, when we are stressing more on the details of the program, that should reach to the people or the teacher educators. They should understand and appreciate the importance why we have included each and every component in the program. Even as a teacher educator, unless I know the expectations of the policy makers out of this program, I don't think anything can be possible. I will give one interesting example. For the last at least 1 decade or more than that, wherever it is possible, I am arguing for getting some space for art education, because I visited United States, worked with great people on art education. There I am proud that now the Americans are giving importance because they have become the victims of excessive use of technology both in education and outside education. Now they want to return to the people who have become like a robots. the major task ahead of, I am talking of 90s, before the Western societies, is to rid of the robot from the mechanical characteristics. Now at least we are not moved in that direction. That doesn't mean we should not go to the technology. With a care, with a lot of understanding, we have to ensure that technology should not become a master to the teacher. A technology should always be a subservient to the teacher. Therefore, we need aesthetic orientation. इसके बारे में करके 2 साल जब 2014 में बीएड हुआ, ये लोग आर्ट एजुकेशन के लिए थोड़ा स्पेस दिया. Out of my interest and curiosity, when I interacted with many people who are teaching in art education in the colleges, वो लोगों को philosophy of art का वो theoretical base वो नहीं है. आर्ट माना एक म्यूजिक, डांस, अरे भाई, they are all forms of art, but my teacher wants aesthetic orientation, basic philosophy of art that is different from the modes of the art. एक बीएड कॉलेज में उन्हें कई बच्चों को अगर डांस करना है, that she is taking into the class and making them to dance. कल टीचर बनने के बाद अगर क्लास में जाके डांस करेगा क्या, वो कॉन्सेप्ट होगा ना, तो क्लासरूम होगा. इसलिए my sincere, because the policy makers, my friend Masood Shankar, Saluja Saab, you see, check the teaching community, teacher educators as a whole, then ensure that the spirit of this policy is reached to them and they understand what we expect out of it, and wherever, because education is such a perplexing subject, nothing is clear. You can argue this side and one can argue the other side. So like that, what exactly we are expecting? What kind of information that we want to put into the student seeking admission? And simultaneously you should influence the governments. For example, the other day somebody was talking, for even foundation teacher we need 4-year degree with that orientation. For secondary teacher also the same 4-year, and the education component is of that level. Can this country afford to pay the same salary to the teacher working at the foundation level and secondary level? It is possible in America. I often visit American schools. In the recent visit I could come across one top journalist, and he was trying for, underwent some training for a year or so. Now he is teaching at primary level. Then I asked him, you are such a popular journalist, why you shifted that to this? I want to, because I don't have issues. I want to spend more time with children. I don't want to go with that kind of job where a lot of pressure is there. That's the reason, Kanta, I have gone to so and so school of education and acquired a certificate. Now I am working as a primary or nursery teacher. That is the taste. यहाँ पर होगा. That we have to address. Otherwise, we can't take the young boys who are coming to our program as a experimental Guyana pigs. They should not be. We have to make it very clear. Even today, after 2020 program, the entire government, the President of India, everybody agreed there are some states, they are not able to say whether we are following or not following. Then what will happen to this country? Even today, they are not coming forward. Yes, we want to. Otherwise, we want to tailor-made this policy into our requirements. No. Interestingly, Government of India is also maintaining silence. Why should we? No doubt education is in the concurrent. That doesn't mean when we are giving a policy, man, you follow it, otherwise you suggest the better policy so that we want to replicate across the nation. वो नहीं चल रहा. So there are several issues, but my young kids who have joined for this ITEP program, you are very lucky. You have chosen a university with a galaxy of learned colleagues. MANUU, I think I have seen so many schools across the country and outside the country. I still feel proud that MANUU is the most resourceful institution. I think Government of India is expecting a lot from you people who opted for this 4-year integrated program. And also my piece of advice to the young colleagues in the School of Education, you all should go through the document, what are the expectations of the program, try to understand the program clearly, then go to the class with a new vigor, spirit and empowerment. And otherwise, if this program also fail like your 2-year BA program, no one can save this country. And the education system already is the target for everyone, including the students and the parents. We have to come out of it as teachers and teacher educators. That is only possible with our sincere and hard work and with lot of devotion. You have to take it as a what I can say, yajnam. उर्दू में क्या बोलते हैं कि मालूम नहीं है. You have to take it as an yajnam. इसका अच्छी returns आ जाएगा. And I am sure this will be a university which will strive hard to see that this program will become successful. So at the same time, I also, there is nothing wrong in requesting, though they are all my young colleagues. So you have to make it a program not confined to some people. Unless we involve in one way or the other the entire teacher educator fraternity, the success of the program can be little difficult. I think it will, but we can't take any chance. If this is not successful, I don't think, because in between so many interventions have come. One thing, when the Prime Minister came forward to give 1,500 crores of rupees to empower the teacher under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya scheme, a बहुत recent program. मोदी जी आने के बाद IUCT बनारस में इनॉग्रेट करते ही इतना पैसा दिया. अभी वो प्रोग्राम 3 साल 4 साल के बाद देखे तो क्या हुआ, हमने एक बिल्डिंग बनाया, कंप्यूटर खरीद लिया, हो गया. बस कितने टीचर को ना आपने एम्पावर किया. ये that program, simple, I think I will, Maksoodan, you may be knowing or not knowing, actually that program is designed to empower the teacher educators. That IUCT is conceived to be the think tank for teacher education in this country, even to advise the apex body of NCT. Now what happened, एक सेक्रेटरी ब्यूरोक्रेट ने आया, नहीं क्यों वो टीचर एजुकेटर की एम्पावर कर रहा, पूरा लेक्चरर को एम्पावर करो. मैं एक पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय को मेरे को 50,000 रुपए खर्च किया, बठिंडा गया. फिर मेरे सामने 30 लोग बैठा है. वो 30 में एक पंजाबी का टीचर है, एक हिंदी का टीचर है, एक बायोलॉजी का है, एक संस्कृत का है. मैं क्या पढ़ाऊं उनको, टेक्नोलॉजी क्या पढ़ाऊं, ना तो बेसिक एजुकेशन के बारे में टेनेट्स क्या बताएं. सो अल्टीमेटली द स्कीम कुड नॉट serve the purpose for which the Honorable Prime Minister came forward to allocate few thousands of crores of rupees. It is just siphoned for any purpose. So it should not happen. I am sure this program is a challenge for every teacher educator, and not only these 50 institutions which the recognition is given, tomorrow it will be made a program for the nation in the years to come, I think we have to ensure that the purpose for which it is carved out should be realized. So, the youngsters who joined, I wish you all the best. Inshallah, अच्छा पढ़ो. अब बाहर जाके बताइए हम मानू का है. And also my teachers, they take this program to the further heights. And thank you very much. I wish you all the best. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. And he is the ocean of knowledge, and rather I say like an Akshay Patra with lot of unlimited resources. So in the coming days we will definitely hear from you, sir. Thank you so much. And it is our pleasure that our registrar sir is here, Professor Ishtiaq Ahmed sir. Besides his tight packed schedule, he has agreed our invitation and come over here to grace the occasion. So I request sir to come over the dais, and I request Dean ma'am to welcome sir for this session by presenting a sapling. Thank you sir, thank you ma'am. Professor Sarvija sir, please.
धन्यवाद। मुझे लगता है कि सभी पैनलिस्ट ने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से चीज़ों को रखा है और कुछ ऐसे प्रश्न जिन पर सचमुच चिंतन करना चाहिए था, उन पर चिंतन हुआ भी है, विचार किया ही गया है। क्योंकि ये जो बहुत ठीक कहा आपने माननीय घंटा रमेश जी ने कि अगर इस बार अगर हम उस बात को नहीं पाते जिसके लिए प्रारंभ किया है तो आगे बहुत कठिनाई हो जाएगी। अभी जो आज सुबह चित्र हो रहे थे तो बच्चे आए थे, मैं बच्चे इसलिए कहूँगा सब 12वीं के थे, 12वीं करके लगभग आ रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं उनके मन में बहुत कुछ सपने भी हैं, कहीं शंकाएं भी हैं, तो उसे लेकर भी आए। अच्छा एक उनमें उत्साह बनेगा। अगर हम उस प्रकार का वातावरण बना सकते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत अच्छी चीज होगी। एक मुख्य बात कही थी जिस पर मैं थोड़ा सा इस रूप में कहूंगा, प्राइमरी टीचर के बारे में। मुझे लगता है सबसे अधिक यदि किसी को परिश्रम करना पड़ता है तो प्राइमरी टीचर है, और यदि हम उसे वो आय नहीं दे सकते जो टीजीटी पीजीटी को देते हैं, बहुत बड़ा अन्याय होगा। और मुझे यह भी लगता है छोटी कक्षाओं को पढ़ाने के लिए जो पढ़ाने आ रहे हैं उनका विषय पर अच्छा अधिकार होना चाहिए। अगर मैं स्वयं विषय को नहीं जानता हूं तो मैं कैसे उन बिंदुओं को साफ कर पाऊंगा। 12वीं तक पढ़ाने का प्रश्न नहीं है, मूल तो पढ़ने का प्रश्न 10वीं तक होता है, 12वीं तक तो एक भिन्न प्रकार उसका स्वरूप हो जाता है। लेकिन प्राइमरी एजुकेशन का जो अध्यापक है होता क्या है, अगर हम उसे आय नहीं देते हैं जो दूसरे वाली है तो वो पीआरटी नहीं रहना चाहता, टीजीटी बनना चाहता है, टीजीटी पीजीटी बनना चाहता है, पीजीटी बीएड तो कर लिया, एमएड करके यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना चाहता है, यानी कहीं स्थिरता नहीं रहती है। ये प्रश्न एक उठा था, पूछा गया कि आप जो 4 स्तर बनाए गए हैं उसमें आपका क्या विचार है। मैंने कहा मैं बहुत प्रसन्न हूं, लेकिन इस दृष्टि के साथ चारों को समान आय दी जाएगी। बहुत चीजों पर व्यय किया जा सकता है, तो क्या इसके लिए नहीं किया जा सकता? तो मुझे लगता है ये बहुत अच्छा पहलू होगा अगर पीआरटी को सम्मानित, वो अपनी इच्छा से पीआरटी बनना चाहते हैं। जैसे आपने बताया कि वो पीआरटी किसी और जॉब से आकर उसमें आना चाहा है, यह भी अगर कोई टीजीटी बन सकता है, पीजीटी, मुझे तो इन शब्दों का प्रयोग करते हुए लज्जा होने लगी है। किसकी टीजीटी पीजीटी?
एक अध्यापक को अध्यापक लिया जाए, और इसके लिए केवल इसी रूप को नहीं दिया, संभवतः आप इस बात से परिचित हैं, 2 और बातें उठाई गई हैं, एनपीएसटी और सीपीडी। और ये कहा गया कि कोई हो सकता है 5 वर्ष का अध्यापक ऐसा हो जो बहुत अच्छी तरह से विषय को जानता है, तो वो अगले स्तर पर ले जाया जा सकता है। केवल क्वालिफिकेशन को ही आधार नहीं बनाया जाना चाहिए। हाँ, प्राथमिक कक्षाओं को पढ़ाने के लिए भी विद्यार्थी के पास एक अच्छा अपनी शैक्षिक पृष्ठभूमि उसके पास होनी चाहिए। अभी जो नई शिक्षा नीति ने कितना सफल हुआ है वो तो देखिए अनुमान तो लगेगा, कभी ना कभी तो प्रारंभ करना ही पड़ता है। परिणाम वैसे ही निकलेंगे यह भी अनिवार्य नहीं होता है, परीक्षण होना ही चाहिए। कोई भी औषधि पहली बार नहीं आती है, न जाने कितने दुष्परिणाम उसने कभी दिए होंगे, और धीरे धीरे सीखते हुए हम उसे अपने उपयोग के लिए लेकर भी आते हैं। लेकिन उससे रुकना नहीं होगा। परिणाम मेरे मन के अनुकूल ही होंगे ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं तो यह भी मानकर चलता हूं कि सोचकर चलना चाहिए कि मेरे मन के अनुकूल अगर नहीं होते तो मुझे आगे क्या करना होगा। तो उस दृष्टि से बहुत अच्छे प्रश्न उठे हैं और बहुत चिंतनीय प्रश्न है जिस पर चिंतन और विचार और मंथन करना चाहिए। लेकिन उसके पीछे भावना यही है, अगर अभी हम अपने आप को इस नए कार्यक्रम के साथ जो एक उम्मीद के साथ है, मैंने सुबह भी कहा था ये 4 वर्ष का सुनने को इसलिए है कि क्योंकि सब मिला दिया गया है। जब 2 वर्ष का किया था तैयारी नहीं थी, सच है, और मैं तो बहुत उसमें कहा भी था ये इस तरह से नहीं होगा। वो 1 वर्ष के पाठ्यक्रम को ही 2 वर्ष में जबरदस्ती बनाकर कर दिया। क्यों हुआ उसके पीछे एक अलग कहानी है, वो कुछ शिक्षाविदों की कहानियां, मैं उसमें नहीं जाना चाहता हूं। तो मूलतः जैसे आपने बताया कि कोठारी कमीशन की संकल्पना थी, 83-85 के चट्टोपाध्याय समिति ने भी इसकी बातचीत की थी। वहीं से 4 वर्ष और 5 वर्ष के पाठ्यक्रम का प्रश्न भी उठाया गया था। इस नीति ने कहा कि हम 4 से प्रारंभ करते हैं, क्योंकि 83-85 में कह दिया गया था, उसका नाम बड़ा सुंदर था, टीचर एंड सोसाइटी। एक समाज के साथ अध्यापक का कैसा रूप होता है। मुझे लगता है कि जितने भी कमीशन के नाम आते हैं उसे प्रायः ध्यान नहीं रखते हैं। 1964-66 में भी राष्ट्रीय विकास और शिक्षा कहा था, लेकिन 90 की बहुत अच्छी रिपोर्ट आई थी, प्रतिवेदन आया था, उसका भी नाम अद्भुत था, टुवर्ड्स ह्यूमन एंड एनलाइटेंड सोसाइटी। क्या शिक्षा हमें मानव बना सकती है, क्या हमें समाज के साथ जोड़ सकती है, सजग नागरिक बना सकती है कि नहीं बना सकती। मुझे लगता है वो जो 90 की रामामूर्ति समिति की प्रतिवेदन का जो शीर्षक था, अगर उसे सभी शिक्षा नीतियों के साथ जोड़ दिया जाए कि किस प्रकार से हम सजग बन सकते हैं या ह्यूमन मानव बन सकते हैं, तो मूल बात मानव बनने की है। थोड़ा मैंने संकेत दिया था कि शिक्षा नीति में बहुत सुंदर कहा है, कुछ भी चाहिए लेकिन अच्छे इंसान चाहिए। उस अच्छी इंसानियत के लिए क्या है, ये शिक्षक का और छात्र का यह रिलेशनशिप, यह रिश्ता केवल पढ़ने लिखने का नहीं है। मुझे लगता है तो ये रूह का रिश्ता है कि हम उसमें रूहानियत डाल सकते हैं कि नहीं डाल सकते हैं। ऐसा यदि हम कर सकते हैं तो समझता कोई भी शिक्षा नीति हो, अगर मन साफ है, कहते हैं ना मन चंगा तो कठोरती में गंगा, अगर मेरा मन चंगा है, साफ है, तो मुझे लगता है कि हम चीज़ों को ले सकते हैं। इतनी बात कहकर मैं समाप्त करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Now I request our chairperson of panel discussion, Professor Manaja, Dean School of Education and Training, MANUU, to sum up this panel discussion. Good afternoon. I will not take long time. Just summing up, जैसे सर ने बताया, हाँ बहुत सारा चिंतन का विषय अभी इस पैनल डिस्कशन से निकला है। तो स्टार्टिंग विथ J.V. Madhusudan sir, will technology replace teachers? Sir, I have one quote which I always keep quoting. Definitely no, technology will not replace teachers, but teachers with technology will replace those without technology. So maybe that's an answer, but technology is to be there. So that will be a reality and we will be making good use of it. The second is about learning crisis and challenges. Yes sir, the ITEP is actually philosophizing that we need to make real professionals, and I think the 4-year ITEP, since we have students for 4 years, we will be shaping them to become modern Vishwagurus sir. So the next was by Professor Srinivasa Rao sir.
You started with why am I here, but I think you ended up with asking why am I teaching and did tell us some sociological inputs into why we are all into teaching field, sir. So you are not in the wrong place, you are also in the right place, sir. Then Professor Ganta, sir. Yes, I have been listening to Professor Ganta from probably 1990 or even before that. So as a young scholar, I have listened to him when there was that new curriculum made, and maybe this is the fourth or fifth changes which have come about in teacher education when I have been listening to him. Yes, sir, you were talking about the philosophy and what we need to do. What are the things we should not do also? True, sir, we are all there in it, and I am sure we will not do the mistakes which we did earlier, and this time maybe we are more committed to seeing that this program, which is a flagship program of the Government of India and also for us, teacher educators, that now it is time for us to show the world that teacher education is a profession by itself, and in this our programs will be our torch bearers and we will succeed in this. Chan Kiran Saluja sir, thank you so much. सुबह भी आपने बहुत good lecture दिया, अभी भी you have summed up for us. I thank you all for listening. If any one of you have a question to the panelists, 2 or 3 we could take. If anyone wants to ask any question, you can. Otherwise, we will go ahead with the closing session. I think there is nobody who wants to ask, sir. We have left them all thinking. And they are there. How many of you ITEP students यहाँ टीचर बनने के लिए आए? हाथ उठाइए या खड़ा हो जाइए. खड़े हो जाइए, सर पूछ रहे. सर they are there, sir. They are there. Thank you, very good. टीचर बनने के लिए आए हैं सर. But thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you ma'am for summing up the panel discussion session. Now I humbly request our registrar Professor Ishtiaq Ahmad sir to present the shawl to the panelists, and I request Professor Vanaja ma'am, Dean School of Education Training, to present the memento to the panelists. Dean ma'am, आप memento दे दीजिए please. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Srinivasa Rao sir. जी, सलूजे सर, आप श्रीनिवास सर को शॉल पहना दीजिए. थैंक यू सर. शाहीन मैम से गुजारिश है कि वो मधुसूदन सर को मोमेंटो दे. डॉक्टर पी शंकर सर. जी. Thanks, sir. For sapling day. HOD को देने के लिए मैं खुद आ रही हूँ.
Sir, Dr. Nawaz. Dr. Gerard. Dr. Praveen Kumar. Dr. Samar. Dr. Rafi Muhammad. Dr. Umar Salma. Dr. Firdaus. Dr. Sumi. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
It is said that well begun is half done, and we could see that morning the launch of this ITEP program was completed, and it's very good that a number of eminent experts, educators have been invited as panelists. I am thankful to Professor Ghanta Ramesh sir for really guiding us all through our difficult days, especially the distance education ODL program. We had many more difficulties in the past 2-3 years. He has really guided us, he has taken pain, he has represented us at NCT, at DEB, at UGC, and distance education programs are various programs that were discontinued have been renewed, and this year we have started B.Ed program also through distance learning. So, and after that, when this NCT invited application for this ITEP program, it was Professor Ghanta Ramesh sahab who guided our faculty members how to approach as far as this new program is concerned. We had meetings with him. He went to Delhi. Again we had some review meeting and the detailed proposal was prepared. So we are very, very thankful that I know that this could not have been possible without the massive support and guidance of Professor Ghanta Ramesh. Morning it was said that in India only 2 universities, one University of Kerala and another MANUU, they have got full-fledged this ITEP program in all the 3 disciplines, all the 3 areas. It is only and only because of you, sir. I am especially thankful to you. Next, and as a panelist also, I heard his view. He was very, very, very. Aye, sir. Mahmood Siddiqui, sir, please. So, इधर आइए इधर. आइए घंटा रमेश सर आपको सजा दे रहे हैं. So I heard as a panelist also, he is one of the panel member today. He shared his views in presence of a student. That is very important. What challenges we are facing or what expectation we are having out of this ITEP program. But we have to understand one thing, that what expectation our students have got out of this program. They are freshers, they have just completed +2 and they have joined this university or they have joined this ITEP with great hopes. They know that this program is different from other programs that is being offered by various universities and colleges. So we have to understand and we have to listen to our student also. There must be a better understanding, collaboration, knowing each other as far as this program is concerned, because these new guys and girls, they have come immediately after +2 and we have to give good care to them. We have to listen to them. So welcome you all, my the new entrant to these programs. We met in the morning and all of them are, by and large, they are present here. We will try our best to help you in the best possible manner, so that while doing this course you can really learn something which is going to not help you but help the future generation to come. You are going to be the teacher. You are going to be in the active field for another 50 years or so, if I can hope. So really you have to spend time with our teachers. You have to participate in each and every deliberations. This deliberation that took place right now, or it's likely to be concluded, is you must have seen that what type of people, what type of experts, what type of scholars and educators have been invited. Like Professor Ghanta Ramesh Sahab, Professor Srinivas Rao Sahab, currently he is Dean Mahendra University, but he is a professor of actually education at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. I know him, he is a wonderful friend of mine. Again, Professor Madhusudan Sahab from University of Hyderabad and Professor P. Shankar Sahab from Osmania University. These all experts have been invited on this, कहते हैं ना, एक शुभ दिवस है जब हम इस प्रोग्राम को लॉन्च कर रहे हैं. तो ये जो डिस्कशन था अभी जो 2 घंटे से आपके सामने चल रहा है, जिस तरह का आपने देखा होगा, सुना होगा, किस किस बारीकियों को इन्होंने टच किया होगा मुझे पता है, और किस तरह के थॉट्स पे और फिलॉसफी की बात कर रहे हैं, गाइडेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, चैलेंजेस की बात कर रहे हैं, प्रोस्पेक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, यानी ये सारी चीज़ें बासों में वैसे में आ रही थी. मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ आप सभी पैनलिस्ट का कि आपने हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं, एजुकेटर्स हैं और स्टूडेंट हैं, आप सबों को आप लोगों ने रहनुमाई दी. और ये सिलसिला जो है ये आज शुरू हुआ है, लेकिन ये चलता रहेगा. ऑन वेरियस ओकेजन we will again and again bother you, we will again and again invite you to come to our campus, be part of our discussion and deliberation and guide our teachers and students. We are really thankful to our Dean, Professor M. Vanija ji, and our Professor Vikarun Nisa, and all the teachers of School of Education, as this is the biggest school in our university, and they have demonstrated that they are very active. They have added something new to our programs that is offered by the university. As I said that on Thursday we had a review meeting and Honorable Vice Chancellor was at the Ministry of Education. There also in that meeting, when the presentation was made by us and Vice Chancellor Sahab was discussing the matter, we told the additional Secretary Sahab that we have grabbed one more program, and that is ITEP program, and he was very happy to know that few universities have got, MANUU is one among them. So we are trying to do the best by having good programs, by adding good programs to our university, developing our curriculum, inviting experts from various fields, good experts, and we hope that this program will go a long way in setting the true agenda, true perspective that will change the education in this country. Thank you very much. Once again, I am thankful to all our panelists for joining us, spending time and being with us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Vaneja Madam. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the encouraging words. Now I would like to invite our senior faculty of our department, Professor Vikarun Nisa, for the vote of thanks. Professor Ikhar Nisa.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and my dear colleagues and students present here. No doubt it is a very brainstorming session. आज का जो टॉपिक जो हमारा कॉन्फ्रेंस वन डे कॉन्फ्रेंस एनुअली न्यू हॉरिजॉन्स इन टीचर एजुकेशन प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स एंड चैलेंजेस, हम देखा कि किस तरह से बहुत सारे डिस्कशंस हुआ. इट वाज अ वेरी फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन एंड आई होप ऑल द टीचर एजुकेटर्स हु आर इन लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ न्यू चेंज, इट इज लाइक ए ड्रीम कम ट्रू. सबके लिए जो है ड्रीम की तरह है और इस प्रोग्राम को हम अपने तहे दिल से इसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं एंड वी आर रेडी टू गिव आवर फुल होल हार्टेड सपोर्ट टू द प्रोग्राम. And I hope that this program will be in future it will be a model program for the teacher education and it will bring a positive change. जैसा कि सभी पैनलिस्ट्स ने यहाँ कहा कि definitely it will going to be bring the positive change. सर मैं आप तमाम का शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ. सबसे पहले मैं NCT का शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी को इस ITEP प्रोग्राम के लिए इंतखाब करने के लिए. My thanks to the Government of India and also to our authorities, our beloved Vice Chancellor Sir Professor Sayyid Amin Hassan Sir, who is not here now, and our Registrar Sir Sheikh Ishtiyaq Ahmed Sir for his support and encouragement. I would like to thank Dr. P. Shankar, Faculty of Education, Usmania University. सर ने जो है इनइक्वालिटीज और लर्निंग क्राइसिस के बारे में बहुत अच्छा सा हमको डिटेल में डिस्कशन किया आज. और मेरा थैंक टू माय प्रोफेसर मधुसूदन जेवी सर, हेड डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ हैदराबाद. थैंक यू सर फॉर बीइंग विद अस and enlightening us on how ICT can bring and help in ITEP program. And I would like to thank Professor Srinivasa Rao sir. He has linked this ITEP with sociological society and learning curriculum, and we are thankful for your views sir. Thank you very much. I would like to thank our beloved Professor Gantarami sir. He is like our light to all of us. He always encourages. I would like to thank Gantarami sir from the bottom of my heart. And I would like to thank our dean, Professor Vanaja ma'am, for all this continuous effort she has made. And I would like to thank our head, Professor Shahin Sheikh ma'am, chairman of this ITEP committee, Professor Mushtaq sir, our OSD to Professor Sayyid Mahmood Siddiqui sir, and all the committee members of this team. And I would like to thank the organizing committee members, all the directors present here, deans present here, scholars of our department, students, and the newly joined ITEP students, and the staff, engineering section staff, IMC MANUU for coordinating with us, horticulture department, CPDM2 for giving this hall, and I thank one and all. I think I have not, and I would like to thank Sumi also for coordinating today's panel discussion. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you ma'am. We will wrap up this program with the national anthem. So please stand for the national anthem.
Jai Jai